Someone has asked if someone has leave to remain, and they can they do fee waiver, and under what categories they can do. Yes, leave to remain 20 years, HRO, 5 years parent route, FLRM, and you can do fee waivers for those. And those who are even working and they cannot save enough money to pay the Home Office. It's nearly £2,700 that people, they struggle to pay that. Yes, if as long as you have enough evidence that you can show, then yes, of course you can apply for fee waiver. And most of you, they were not aware. People, they think if they do not have any legal status, they are the only one who can apply for it. So the question, yes, you can apply if you are even working, but you can establish the point that how you cannot afford to pay the enough to the Home Office, then yes, you can. Your fee can be waived for the IHS and your application, but the decision is the Home Office decision. Yes, and you need to choose your right person, your right advisor to give you correct, accurate advice on this matter. So let's move on now. We have so many things to discuss today. I have already explained you your questions that you ask, and I think the one are sent through the emails. Yes, I said I would reply you back, so keep an eye on it. And if someone again and again calls, and the first 30 minutes consultation is free, so don't count your 30 minutes that you call 10 times and you speak 2 minutes. No, the first call you make, you have your questions ready, you get your case ready, and then you ask the questions step by step. So this is something that you have to organize yourself, that what are you going to ask, because I even had some which I'll be even happy to answer. Had few people, they ask one question, then they call again, ask 2 more questions, then they call back, ask 3 more questions. So this is something, please, when you're calling for consultation, please make sure that you write all your questions down, call, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. You can come to the office and we'll take you from there. So the British, for first child, British passport application for the first child. The date when you can, first you have 2 options, paper and online. The online one is more cheaper than the paper one, and the day the HM passport office will, Her Majesty Passport Office will receive the document, then the process starts. And you can always, when you create an account, you can always track your application, that when the documents were received, when they completed the process, when they have even sent you the documents back, and you can trace, you can track everything there. So this is something, if your question is about the time, processing time. So currently they have clearly mentioned, when you even make the application, they say that 10 weeks. So now the question raised, the 10 weeks, when the 10 weeks starts. The 10 week time starts when they receive the documents. From that date, the time your clock starts for 10 weeks. If someone even is waiting for more than 10 weeks, they can contact me, and we can find a way to proceed this further, how to deal with this. and you can contact. And I hope this answers your question well. The process time for the British passport application for the firstborn child. Yeah. And now the topic I would choose that most of you they have asked, that is adult dependent. So when it comes to adult dependent, there are different categories that who can be your dependent. But first, adult dependent that today I'm going to discuss, that people who have asked that they have parent to bring here. This is understandable, and when it comes to family, which is always should be the priority for every single person, and we understand the importance of elders in the house. And most of you who came here and currently they are doing well established, they have their parents back home, and they are worrying to bring them here, because most of you who asked to actually brief introduction for adult dependent, the parents has already been here on visit visa. This adult dependent is different than the visit visa. Once you are granted, you're granted indefinite leave to enter. So indefinite leave to enter, who is the sponsor? Let's say if someone is here wants to sponsor his or her mother or both parents, so the burden that you have to, the proof that you have to establish here, that the sponsor has enough funds, the sponsor is well established here, the sponsor can afford to pay everything for their parents, and you have to show actually that the applicant, how the applicant is struggling, that the applicant cannot live on their own back home in your country, whether it's Pakistan, India, Ghana, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Nepal, because these are the places that we are getting more inquiries, that people want to know about it. So then the sponsor will have to sign the declaration that for 5 years applicant is not eligible for any public funds, and then sponsor has to sign that. And on top of that, there are further requirements. Anyone who is interested, as I said, my number is there. I can also repeat, and my email address is there, and which all of you, I think I don't need to repeat this, because I can see that you people can see through the reel that is running on the screen on the TV channel, and then you guys can contact me, and I can issue you a list of document, and then through the list of document you can go through and provide all the documents. But I've given you the brief scenario that the sponsor has accommodation available for the applicants, and the house, the property has enough space. We may ask you to bring property inspection report that would show that the property has enough space that can be helpful. Another thing, very important, the sponsor, how the sponsor is financially stable, the situation, because of course you are going to take responsibility for someone for 5 years, and the person will be granted indefinite leave to enter, and you are taking the responsibility that the person is not going to go for public funds. So that means that your situation should be stronger. And the most important thing in this, that those who are worrying that what happens once someone is granted they can live here, they can stay here. There is no restriction like if someone is here on visit visa, and they may have restriction on that. And of course there is a restriction on visit visa, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You have certain period of time that you can stay, and then you must have to leave the country. But on this, they can live here longer that as they want. So there were 3 to 4 different inquiries for detention. For detention, don't delay. Someone is been detained. Just pick up your phone, ring me and contact me, and then we will take you from there. Detention is if they have been served any notice of removal, so make sure that you send the copy by email, so I can check what we can go. And if they have any ongoing case with the Home Office, please send that as well. So this query was raised this morning, and that's why I'm asking to send the documents on the email, and then we will deal it from there. And of course, if we need further information documents, and then you guys can specifically the person who sent an email, then I would even you can call me after the show, and then we can go briefly what the next step that we are going to go through. And most of the questions that I picked up that were asked by you, and my purpose was to answer you rather than picking up the topic today, because we understand the importance when people are here and they have issues with their immigration status. They always need a lawyer to help them. So when you get an advice, that means, and the advice helps you to resolve your issue, that means that is advice that is not an excuse. Because when your matter has already been to that stage that nobody can help you, then whoever has dealt with your matter, that person is only going to give you excuse, not an advice. So go to the right person, choose the right person who can lead you to the right place, because we understand that, we at Marvel Solicitors, we understand that how people they earn, how they make money, how difficult it is for them to save this money, and when they come and they give this to their lawyer to deal with the matter accurately. And this is the lawyer's duty to give them the right advice, so that they can lead to the right situation, right place. I would come for those who mostly ask the question of amnesty, that what's going to happen. The government clearly mentioned that the people who were who already submitted the petition, and people they were given the answer that the answer was if someone is already here in this country and for the longer period, and for 20 years, then they have option to go for 20 years AD 276. They can go for section 4, and they can go for that. And people who were looking forward to hear good news from the government, that the government will announce the amnesty, that they may reduce the period of that 20 years, like that was in past long time ago. And they may reduce that. So they already made that clear. So whoever has been guided wrongly, please do not waste your time with the place where you have been guided wrongly. Pick up pick up your phone, call me directly, so I can explain you that how you qualify for less than 20 years rule, because this is also a part of that. So then people, when they come, they for HRO, do not mix up your other things, like someone has some issue going on back home, they can't go, they have threat of life or religion issue or any other issue related to political party, then people, they ask, oh, we are going to go for that. No, that differs under asylum. So those who are already suffered, and they have that situation, government has given the right to them to do this. For HRO, who qualifies for that? For HRO, you family life here, how what makes you to not to